Well, again, thank you for coming. Welcome, everyone. This is Apollo's Nonprofit Bites and Insights. This is where we invite professionals from all different industries to come share their knowledge and expertise with us. Today, we have Britt back with us. She has done many webinars with us before, all around Microsoft 365 tools. And today, we are going to be focusing around Microsoft Teams. But before I turn it over to her, a few housekeeping items. This session is being recorded and it will be shared on our YouTube channel as well as our blog. For those of you who are attending live, you will receive a follow-up email from me. It'll include the direct link to the recording, as well as the slide deck and other resources we might talk about today. Chat box and QR codes. Chat box and Q&A are available for you to use. Feel free to use either, whatever you're comfortable with at any time throughout our presentation today. Couple of things, if you're new to Aparo, we are a nonprofit based in Charlotte, North Carolina. And what we do is we help other nonprofits with any of their technology and business process challenges, needs, you name it, we are there to help. We offer a wide range of services to help meet the needs of the nonprofits, including one-on-one support, team trainings, and community impact projects. These are our larger projects where we help nonprofits find a solution that is tailored to their need. If you'd like to learn more, go to our website. That's the best way to, excuse me, look more in depth into our services. And also to request a chat with one of us. A couple of other things I wanted to mention. We do have a cybersecurity cohort program that is kicking off very soon. This will be free of cost and open to nonprofits anywhere. This is a 9-week virtual program. So if this sounds interesting for you and your nonprofit, I'd highly recommend taking a look at it and applying if you're interested. QR code is there, and I will drop the link in the chat in a moment. The other thing I wanted to mention is also, this is also free of cost. If you're a nonprofit, it might be interested in having some volunteers look over your website and assess your website based on their user experience. This is a great opportunity to get that service. So if you are interested in that, we are actively looking for nonprofits to connect with our volunteers who are ready to go on that. All right, and then finally, this is a QR code to connect with us. If you haven't already subscribed to our email list, please do so you can stay updated on all of our programming. All right, well, that is it for me. Britt, I think I saw you hop off and hop back on. Are you still with us?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. All right, I will stop sharing. Go ahead and turn it over to you.
All right. Let me bring up my screen. And let me know when we're good.
There it is. Yep.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate everyone joining this morning or afternoon, I guess, for most or everyone except me. We'll be talking about Microsoft Teams and collaboration, and this is going to be an interactive session, and it's a small group, so I'd love to see everybody join later on when we get into the collaboration and join me. I will be asking for some volunteers. If you're comfortable and you want to join into my Teams environment and see how the collaboration works in real time, please add your email address into the chat so I can copy and paste that when we get to that point in today's programming. So what are we talking about? First, an introduction. I have been doing Microsoft for like 20 years now. It's been a long time, and pretty much exclusively Microsoft. Here and there, I've done some other things, but I've been along for this ride for a long time. As I mentioned, it's still morning for me. I'm in Chicago, and by that I mean like actually Chicago, the city of Chicago, not Iowa, Chicago, or downstate Chicago, as some people would say. I got into this with Microsoft because I really, really hate email, and I wanted to find something else that would replace it. And we're getting closer to that goal, I'm happy to say. And I also love working with nonprofits. I love doing these webinars. So definitely would love to get questions from you after this, or some thoughts on how this can expand into work that you're doing in your associations. And just a kind of a fun fact, I am extremely accident prone. And by accident, I don't mean like falling over, like physical, more of just kind of absent-minded. I'm very detailed in my work, but in my real life, I'm not. Like I accidentally clicked leave webinar earlier on when I went to move the screen, and I dropped out. And last week I went to get a gift card for my son, had a birthday party, and I went to get $20, and I ended up getting a $200 gift card. I didn't even realize it until I found the receipt in my bag. So always check before you put in your card. That's all I got to say. I learned that lesson. This is a webinar about Teams. If you have been using Teams for a while, you will have noticed that there have been some changes recently. I will not be talking about SharePoint at all in this webinar, but a lot of the things that I'm going to be talking about, actually everything I'm going to be talking about in some way, is also relevant in SharePoint. So if you're using SharePoint, some of these will apply. I'm going to be using my personal account, so it's going to look however it looks. Yours may look different depending on how you have it configured or what version of Teams that you are on. And the content in this is accurate as of yesterday afternoon. Things are moving fast with Microsoft, and who's to say that next week something won't be a little bit different. But this is where we are right now, and the basic concepts that I'll be sharing with you have been around for quite some time now, so I don't see them changing overnight. As I mentioned, another name for this presentation could be Death to Email. There's a lot of work that we're doing with one another, with our partners, our vendors, our exterior contacts, that can really be done in a more collaborative way. And I am not naive enough to think that we can just get rid of email. It does serve a purpose, particularly when we need to communicate to a large audience, and that audience is not within our own company. Outside of that, when we are working on a document, if we're sending some attachments, if we are having to do any type of back and forth or volleying of information, that is really an opportunity to bring in a collaborative platform like Teams instead of having those communications via email. And what I mean by that, who can tell me what this is? Does anyone know what this is? No one? This is called a triptych. And when I was a little girl, when we would go on vacation, we would go to AAA and get one of these, and it would be a map that somebody would highlight and show you how to get from your house to wherever your vacation destination or wherever you were going is. And on the side, there would be some highlights of some restaurants or gas stations where you could stop along the way. And instead of having a big map that you could fold, this was very groundbreaking because you could just flip over the page as you traveled through and be able to see where you are. Now, you can immediately see some issues with this, right? From a modern perspective, which is it's maybe summer when you're going on a summer vacation. And in summer, we have lots of construction all across the country. Or there's going to be something that comes up. You need to go further off the highway than you expected. You're looking for something, or you wanted to stop at some tourist attraction that you saw a billboard for. And now you're kind of stuck, or you're not sure where to go. So this information is at a point in time. And so there's a reason that we don't rely on these anymore, besides the fact that they're just made out of paper, is they're kind of stuck. They're, from the time somebody hands this to you, that's where you are. And it doesn't account for changes. And it's also very slow to make changes too. So as roads would adjust or other things needed to be added to the map, our restaurant closed, our restaurant opened, that's a lot of maintenance that needed to be done and things that needed to be shared out with the AAA members. Not to mention dealing with some of the other parts that are painful about traveling that we just kind of have as a butt of a joke anymore rather than a real life skill that you need to know how to fold a map. So I think of those examples when I talk about email, particularly when we're talking about attachments. So if I have an email and there's attachments with it, particularly if they are Office documents and not PDFs, then I run into this issue of not having the latest version or not having something that's up to date. It's hard to keep track of where you are. It's hard to make sure that everyone's working off the same sheet of music or the same map. These are not collaborative. If you have an attachment, and even if this is an internal document, even if it's in maybe a OneDrive, you don't know how people are going to be interacting with this data when you send it in an email, and you don't know what you're going to be getting back. Another thing that can be encountered is somebody that you're sending it to could have a limit on the attachment size. So if you're working on some larger documents or you have a big group of documents, you may have found that even if you're able to send it, somebody isn't able to receive it, or that those attachments get stripped off because it's going through some spam filter or other type of email filter. I mean, that happens to me a lot, where somebody just didn't get the email, or they got the email and they didn't get the attachments. And you may not know that you didn't get the attachments because they were stripped out by a spam filter. Knowing the multiple versions is difficult, right? When you get those emails that says, here's my contract V1, contract V2, contract final, final, right? And then you're just left with all these other documents too that are just kind of taking up space, which brings me to my last point. And this is more from maybe a CIO perspective, but these attachments take space, and space is money. So as you rack up these attachments, again, thinking about contract final, all those other versions that were sent and everybody who received that is taking up space that somebody is paying for. So the more that we can reduce the amount of stuff that has to be stored, then there's actually real dollars attached to that, and not just in terms of people time. I just want to touch on this quickly because it does come up. I don't know if somebody has this question right now, but within Microsoft 365, you have your OneDrive and you have Teams. And there's always a question about, well, which one should I be using? Which is Teams and which is OneDrive? And to that, I say, when you're talking about documents that you own that are maybe transient or drafts, things that are not going to be particularly collaborative, documents for yourself, that's going to be OneDrive. Those are me, where you really need to have ownership of that document, and you want to have complete control over who can and can't see it and who can do what with that document. That's going to be OneDrive, because you have the control over the sharing permissions of that within your environment. We is going to be Teams. So as soon as you take something, let's say you have a draft and it's been in your OneDrive and now you're ready to collaborate on it with others, you can move it into Teams. And within Teams, it's very egalitarian in the fact that anybody who's a member of that team can work on that document. So there's no ownership anymore. So if it's a document that needs to exist outside of yourself, on behalf of a department, on behalf of a project, that's going to be in that we, in that Teams. So talking about Teams, now we've got a document. Where are we going to put it? There are 3 types of channels within Teams, and it's important to understand these distinctions. So we have a standard channel, and that is going to be, when you create a channel, usually what you get. And that's going to be everybody who's a member of the team. So here I have a team and I have 5 people in it. Any channel that I add to that, channel 1 through 7, as long as they're standard channels, everybody in the team can see anything in any of those channels. And they will see all those channels along their channel list in Teams. And don't worry, we'll talk about this. I will create these types of channels, but I want to just show you this diagram because I think it's a little easier to understand. And then we have something called a private channel. And a private channel is a subset of a team for a particular purpose where something is confidential. So I may create a team called marketing, but then maybe I have a marketing management or next campaign, and I don't want to share that out. So I can create a private channel in that team and decide who in that team, so that team's 5 people, I want only 3 of those people to be part of my private team. And if you're not a member of the private channel. If you're not a member of the private channel, you don't even know it exists. So if I have a channel called Raises for 2026 and you're not a member of it, you're not going to even know that that exists within the team unless you're a member of that channel. And you'll know a private channel because it has a lock next to it. And then we have shared channels. Shared channels can be internal or external. And I should have mentioned this before. Standard channels can also be internal or external. But a shared channel is one where you have people who are outside of your team that you want to bring in to one particular channel of your team. So an example of this that I have encountered is somebody is creating some brand assets, right? Maybe some marketing materials, and you need to have a collaboration space with sales so that they are aware of those. Maybe they're reviewing them and signing off. You've got all your other marketing stuff that has nothing to do with sales. You don't want them messing with your documents. But there's this one place where you've got marketing and sales collaborating on some content, and you can't decide, well, is that really in the marketing team or is that in the sales team? It can be both with a shared channel. So you can take people from one team, add them to a channel within another team, and have that one space, and that would show up. So if you're a member of a shared channel, in that instance, somebody in sales would see marketing, the marketing team, and then they would have one channel underneath there, which is their shared channel, and they wouldn't see the others that they don't have access to. And you can use external users across the shared channels and the team. So you can add external users to a team so they can see all the channels, or you can add external users to one particular channel. Maybe you call that one external collaboration. You're putting some documents on there, but then you have your other channels that they cannot use. So that's a very common use case for shared channels. A question that comes up, or a concern, is like, I like to have email because I know exactly what it is that I sent. And if anything's different, I can go back to my email and see what I sent and how it looked and know that that's the version that I need to rely on. Maybe I want to be able to view multiple people's changes and decide like what I want to bring in to my document and not have other people make those choices for me. And for that reason, I'm a little hesitant to open up all of my collaboration. Microsoft has heard this concern and has come up with a number of, I think, really smart ways of handling these situations. And they are as follows. At its most basic, we have a timestamp. So you have a document and you can see who was in that document and when. So the last person to change this document was Yenting, and she was in here yesterday at 4:26 p.m. Nothing can be done about that. I'm going to have a record that that was the last person who changed the document. Next, we have the document restoration. So if somebody were to go into the document and you do not like what was done, or something was done by accident, somebody accidentally deleted something, some slides, a presentation, whatever it may be, you can restore a previous version of that document and go back to where you were and still retain those other ones in between. Or if something were to actually just get all out deleted, you can bring it back with a recycle bin. The default is about 60 days. So you can get something on what's called the level 1 recycle bin. And even beyond that, there's a level 2 recycle bin. And you can talk to somebody who's an admin on the tenant and be able to get something out of that. And that should be there. I think the default is another 60 days, but that can be configured. So you have some time before you notice something's missing to be able to get it back. Next, versioning control. So if you've used SharePoint at all, this might be familiar to you. When you have a document, and you don't have to turn this on like you did in SharePoint, it just is. Every time somebody changes the document, it's going to create a new version. So thinking back to that document restoration, if I know that this document looked a lot different on Tuesday, but I can't quite figure it out, I can bring back the last document from Tuesday and be able to look at them side by side as two different documents and try to figure out what it is that changed, or just bring back Tuesday's document. So we can see all of the versions, who made that version and at what time. Again, that's mutable. You cannot alter the fact that you made a change to the document. And lastly, this is really cool if you haven't seen this, and we'll do this together today. There's a feature called Catch Up. Has anyone seen Catch Up? Is anyone using that? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, so Catch Up is not just saying so-and-so changed this document at this time and this person changed this document at this time. It's actually giving you the content of that change. It's showing you piece by piece, and this goes across any Office document. So Word, PowerPoint, even Excel, which parts of the document were changed and what they were changed to. So that's very cool. And you might get a notification too if you open up a document and you haven't been in there for a while. It'll say, hey, some changes have been made since you've been in here last. Would you like me to summarize them for you? And that's just an out-of-the-box feature. And so you can click that when it pops up and see a panel that will open up and give you an overview of all of the changes. So really powerful stuff. I'm going to pause there and see if there are there any questions? So I'm going to get the song stuck in your head. I know that's not the right words, but it's just, we're going to go and get out of slides because I don't like making slides. I'm sure you don't like looking at them. And I just want to get into some collaboration. So thank you to, who is this here? Heather. And I know Yenting and anyone else, if you've joined recently, please, if you are interested in collaborating with me, I'm going to be setting up an environment. You can send me your email address and I'll show you how we can get started in adding external people to a team to do collaboration. And now I will pull up Teams. Yenting, you can see this, right? You see Teams now. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
And I've got just a very empty team here, as you can see. I've got one team and I have my standard general channel. Oh, this is important. Can you give me a thumbs up with the reactions if you do not have Teams in Teams anymore? If yours looks like mine, so you used to have an icon that says Teams and now there's no Teams. So I know this at this interface. Okay, so this is a hybrid right now between people who are on the old version and the new version. The new version is rolling out, but it's a bit slow. So there are people who still see the Teams and there are some people who don't. I do not clearly, and I'll be using this for the demonstration. So if you're not used to that new interface, you'll kind of get a feel for that too and what we're going to be doing today. All right, now that we're out of that segue, I am here in my chat under channels, no longer under Teams, and I have my one team with my one channel. I'm going to just keep this here right now, and we'll keep this one channel. Actually, you know what? No, I am going to create something new. So we're going to add a new channel. I'll call this Aparo. And here I can pick the channel type. So there's my standard channel, there's my shared channel, and here's my private channel. You may not have these options in all of your teams depending on your status within the team. So if you're not an owner of the team or if your organization has turned some of this off, you may not have these options, but the default behavior is that these are available to the owners of the teams. So I will create a new shared channel. I'll share this with everyone on the team. It's fine, it's just me. And I'm going to add this in. And it's going to be the same at the beginning because it's just me in there. And I'm not going to add anybody right now. So let's go to the Files tab. It's going to take a moment to load up for the first time within this channel. And I'm going to create a document in here. I think we can do a PowerPoint presentation would be fun. And while I'm waiting for this to load, and what's actually happening in the background is it's creating a separate document library from this one in this team because the permissions are going to be different. So that's why we have, and you can see here, I've got a different logo here that shows me that it's shared. So it's creating that document library. It should show up here momentarily. And there we go. Let's create a new PowerPoint presentation. And I've got that in here. I think just a tip that I would share, and this is something that I don't want to open this over here. Thank you. Something that it's been hard for me to adjust because I'm so used to doing it the other way, but it's been so helpful, is to create the documents in Teams to begin with. Because what would often happen is if I need a new PowerPoint presentation, I go to my desktop, I open up PowerPoint, I go and I do all this work, and then I try to save it, and I'm like, I can't find where it is that I want to put it. I've got too many teams, I've got my OneDrive, I've got some other folders. It's just like, it's kind of a mess. Or if I'm trying to just find that specific folder. So I've tried to get into the habit of going to the place where I ultimately want to keep it, going to the new button and creating the thing there. It's been really helpful. Then I don't have to go and try to remember where it is that I want to put it. So just a tip to know that you can do that here. You can also copy documents, move documents, the same as you would with your Windows Explorer. So now I have this collaboration fun. Let's open this up in PowerPoint. You're gonna make me look in, huh? And it's probably gonna give me some MFA here, so hang tight. Oh, okay, it's not. That's good. I'm gonna add a slide in here. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. And close that. So now I have my PowerPoint. And I can see I changed it. I'm the last person to modify it. So now I've worked so hard on this, as you can see, and I'm ready to share it out to the world. I want to collaborate on this with some other people. So let's go and add all of my volunteers, including Yanting. So here I go to the channel name, share channel with people. People sounds good. And I'm just going to put in the email address of everyone I want to join the channel. And remember, this is going to open up that entire channel, not just that one document. I'm saying anything that I add to this channel will be shared to everybody that I add in here. So let me grab. Hey, Anthony, if you don't mind, if you could just put your email address in there, it'll be easier for me to copy and paste it. Thank you. All right, Heather, put you in here. Oh no, it looks like you have sharing turned off. I wonder if I can share the whole team with you. Okay. We'll add you here to the team. Now, Heather, you should get an email that says Britt has added you to this team, and it will give you a link directly to the team, so you don't have to try to find out how you can get in here. And now, Yansing, anyone else up for collaborating?
My colleague from Apara, actually, Elizabeth. She dropped her email in the chat as well.
Great. Okay, Heather, you should have an email now. Let's see if this works with you, Yansing. If I can share a channel with people. I'll have to look into that. I don't know why maybe it's something on my side with this team. that's being configured. But I will add everyone. You're still waiting on the email. Okay, let's see. And we'll add Yanting. Let's see, hopefully you all get an email. If you don't have an email, if you're in the Teams client, like not in the browser, what you can do, and you might see like a, okay, how do I, you might see this thing and it'll have a badge. So if you never noticed that before in your Teams client, you'll have like a little person thing with a bell. You can click on that and you'll see your other organizations. So now you may have my demo organization in this list now that you've been added. Anyone? Oh, Heather, you got the email. Great. And then Yanting or Elizabeth, if you want to try, yep. If you want to try either the email or going to this bell icon and see if you can switch that way. Oh, fantastic. Great. Now, Heather, do you see the Aparo channel? And if you want to come off mute, no pressure though. Or Yanting, anyone who's in here, can you see the Aparo channel?
Hey, I'm looking for it. This is Heather Camille. I'm looking for it. Hold on. Let me go back.
So here you can see, by the way, that Heather is showing up in my channel with a tag of being a guest. So it's very clear that she doesn't work at this company. She's in here as a guest, but she's able to post the same way as somebody who was in the company can, and not just collaborate on documents.
I see all my work teams, but I don't see a Pro yet. I don't know if I'm looking in the wrong.
Do you have the BK demos team?
I mean, I posted on it when something popped up, but when I'm looking on my teams, I'm not seeing.
Can you go to this icon here? Do you have this with the bell? And then do you see BK demos here?
Okay, I'm looking for a bell.
It may not be a bell, but you'll have like a next to your name in Teams. There's
Oh,
a
yes. Yes.
there's like a way to switch your organization, and you should see the BK Demos
Yes.
LLC there.
Okay, I gotcha. I'm in.
Okay, great. So yeah, if you are being shared, if you are invited as a guest, it does not add it to your team. You have to switch your team over here. But what's nice is you get like a badge that says you have things to look at in these other teams. It can be nice or not nice depending on how much you're using it, but it's not like in your face. And then you'll the same way as if you're in a regular team, you'll get notified. So if somebody mentions you in another team in another organization, you'll get an email about that, same as you would if it happened in yours. So it's really just like you. It's you in another team. It's not some other version of you that somebody is creating, if that makes sense. Like it's not somebody creating you another username. So Heather is Heather under her email address, right? Yanting is Yanting. So now that if you can you see this Aparo team?
Okay.
General. I only see general.
Okay, let me see if I can add you now that you are in the team.
I'm only seeing general too.
Okay. Well, I don't know why the share channel isn't working. Probably because I'm doing a live demo. I'll have to figure that out. But let's go back to general then, and we'll do something similar over here on the file tab. We'll create a document, and I think PowerPoint is good because it'll just be very clear about who's been doing what. And actually, I could have moved that document from my Aparo team to the general team, come to think of it, but I'll just create a new one. Fresh. Hmm. And now that's not even have files. I'll see if I can move this over.
Yeah, I can create a PowerPoint.
And oh yeah, you can and I can't. Yeah, go ahead. Let's do it. Let's do it. See, we got to help each other out. That's collaboration. Yeah, it's not, that's not loading for me. Okay, did you create one over there?
I did.
All right, so actually this could be good. So Heather, can you see that PowerPoint that Jensen created?
Yes.
Okay, so everyone but me. So if you can both go in there and like do stuff that I can't see because I can't even get to the file, and eventually I'll be able to open it up and then we can see what it looks like for me having not been in there. So now this is fun. I have two people who are not even part of my company making and working on a document that I can't even access.
Yeah, just to be clear, I can see it on the Zoom, but I don't see it on my channel, my Teams channel. So I'm not sure I'm in.
Oh, so when you go to the general under
Mhm.
VDA demos and you go to files, are you seeing something there?
I do not see files yet. I
Oh, you
know where
don't.
to find them because I use them, but it's only showing post at this time, not even an option for files.
Okay, and so Yenting has it, and I don't either. Um, I might try opening this in the browser. See, I'm just gonna reload this and see if that helps. Very strange. I'll see if I can move this one. Are you making some changes in your own? Yeah, it's just, and Yancy, you're definitely in the right place that you can see it and no one else can.
I think so. Next to posts, files, general.
I found files on the drop-down menu instead of the menu across, so I do see files, and now I'm seeing the PowerPoint under files.
Okay, that's good.
Hmm.
I didn't realize that was a drop-down list because on mine it's straight across. So this is great. I can get to it.
Okay, now I can see it this way. I'm gonna move my welcome PowerPoint over there, or my collaboration fun. And
I
if
can
this
see
doesn't work, I might just open it up in the browser.
collaboration fund just popped up, so that's good.
Yeah, I moved it over there, but I can't, I can't get to
I
it.
can't see it.
I don't know. Well, we will go. I'll try one more time to reload. Are you now, if you can both be in that same document in the one that Yancey created and just, add some slides, whatever it is that you want to do. And I'm just going to go to a browser, I think, because I don't know how else to get in there. Make sure I don't mess up my credentials here. Office.com. I hope I can see it over here, or I'll have to have one of you take over. All right, now I'll go to Teams. I see the document I created. It's going to be so worth it.
Elizabeth, has it shown up for you yet?
I don't see it on the list. Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear
Look
you.
at
I don't
the organization. So in the top where it has your name, right to the left of that, there's like a little person. If you click on that, you can see if you can switch it to BK Demos.
Okay.
Because it won't show up in your list of teams for Aparo because it's a different organization.
Gotcha. Okay.
And in fact, I think I can do this. If I
Okay. I see
mention
you. Yep. I got it.
So back here, I could start a post and I could do like an @ if I send this message, then that's how you would get this badge up at the top. So if you're in Aparo, you would get a ping that you've been mentioned, and then you can switch that organization and be able to see it. But you can't be in both at the same time. All right, now let's see if this works. Moment of truth. Something's happening. All right. Okay. It shouldn't have been that complicated. So I'm going to just edit this right here. And let's see. So here I can did this Yanting about a minute ago. I haven't seen this, so I'm excited to see what everyone's been up to. Ooh, fancy. So here I've got the document that I didn't see until now, and I can see the changes. Now, if you were in here, please keep working on things. So when I'm in here, I see the icons. Heather's here, and I can see what she just has it open. Okay. And Yanting is on slide 3. She's working over there.
Gotcha.
So I wanted to be able to kind of see what she was up to. I can see, oh, she's adding a title on this part right now. I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to add my own slide. Let's put some kind of picture in here. Okay, so I've got my slide. Everyone's working on their own slides. And more people are here now. So we can have, I don't really think there's a limit to how many people can be in here working on this document at the same time. Now let's go back to what I said are those rules around being able to understand what's going on. So here I've got a few options, and this I'm in PowerPoint, but you'll see these across Word, across Excel. As long as the document is in the cloud and it's not just on your desktop, you should have this. So this is the one that I talked about. This is that catch-up button. So you look at the thing that kind of looks like a snake. It might pop up for you when you open it for the first time. So actually, I'll show you this now and then we can come back into it. So there's no comment for me right now, but I can come and look at the version history. And I can see these different versions that have been created. So here's the one that Yanting did originally. And I'm guessing at this point it was just blank. So I'm able to see who made these different changes. I can save a copy if I wanted to. And then I get also when I'm in my document, see I've got these blue dots that will show up. And you might see something similar in Word. You'll see a paragraph with like blue dots next to it. This does not show up in Excel. I think it would just be overwhelming, but you can go to that catch up feature and be able to see what's different. And here I got these blue dots that say there's something different over here. You didn't see this yet. And now it'll highlight for me. You can see here this blue box that this smart art wasn't here when I last opened this up or when I was last in this slide. Another thing that I can do from this document is come up here to the Aparo tests, wherever the title is, and go to the version history that way. And it's going to open that up and I can see all the different versions and some of those major changes that were made to the document. So I can feel okay that, and I mean, this is just a very simple example, but of having that control over the documents and how easy it is to be able to get started with collaboration as long as you have someone's email address, at being able to add them in, being able to work on documents. And I can even mention them over here. So if I have this table, let's go ahead and add a comment. And I can add Yancing in here. Oh, yeah, maybe it's can I put Heather? This should show up. Then I can do a comment for somebody. And that they can get a ping that says this has somebody's asking you about something in this document.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. A few things to look into. Maybe it's just something with my team, but and you can see here, I'm in the browser. Somebody might be in PowerPoint. This could even be if you had something open on a phone. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. We can all edit these documents together. So I'm going to get out of this document, go back to Teams. So I'll just close this tab, come back over here. If you can make some changes to it while I'm out, just keep working on it a little bit so we can get a sense of what this looks like when I come back in. And I'll reload. Okay, a few seconds ago. So let's see what's new. So even right from here, I have some different options about what I can do. And here are the details. I can see in the details so not just like that Yenting changed it a few seconds ago, but other people who created this file, other people who were in here, some of the activity, and I can get notified about it too. So if I'm wanting to say, I want to know when somebody's been in my document, or I send this to Yenting, hey, can you review this presentation? We're going to share it at our conference coming up. I can tag it so that I get notified when she opens up and starts making changes, which is a nice feature too, to make sure that somebody's following up or that they're interacting. So you can follow documents that's internal or external, as it may be. So, okay, let's go back in here. And of course, everything I'm talking about is absolutely for internal people as well. Okay, so I've got my presentation and I see my catch up here and I can see the changes that were made since I was last in here, piece by piece. All right, so any questions or thoughts about this collaboration? You can see hopefully how powerful it is and how you can do a lot more with this format as opposed to working on these documents via email.
So what's the difference between if it was just inserted, if the PowerPoint was inserted into the Teams as a collaborative document, wouldn't you be able to, or would you be able to do the same? Is it because you created it in the Teams, is that allowing a different level of collaboration than if you just inserted it or attached it?
I'm not sure I follow. So as long as the document is in the team, whether you create it in the team or if I took the presentation and I started sharing for this and I could upload it.
Yes. Okay. That's what I
Um,
thought. I thought that you had made a distinction about creating it inside the team made it different.
oh, no, I'm just saying I did that because it's easy.
Okay.
But if you take a document, if I just drag and drop something over here, if I use the upload and bring it in,
Yes.
it's the same thing. So if I
Yeah.
started, a good use case for this is if I start something in my OneDrive and I'm like, I don't want anybody to see it. And now I'm ready. So I can bring that over into here. And so I can take any of my files and upload them
Yeah.
and be able to, yeah, continue to document, to
Okay.
share it out. And so the part about that's important to remember is that when you add something to the team, everybody who's a member of the team now has access to it. You don't own it anymore. Now you can change the permissions on an individual document. I would recommend against doing that unless it's something everybody knows because it's very difficult to audit. So I'll give you an example. I'm working with a team right now and they have a report that they share out to pretty much everyone in the company. So to do that, they've added a document to their team and they did manage access. Oh, I clicked make that. They go to manage access and then they put everyone in there for the company. But then they went in and they changed it. So this will say share with people, and then they changed this to can view. Now, when you see the document, you can't tell the difference about who can see it versus who can edit it. But everybody knows that that report is read-only. Another thing that I recommended is that they use a folder. And now we've got these nice colors too. So you can make something called reports, let's say, and we'll make it green. So everyone knows that this folder is going to be everything in that folder is read-only. So I can set the permissions for this at the folder level and say, I want everyone to have read-only access to this folder.
Okay.
And then anything that I put in this folder will automatically inherit that. So that would be my recommendation, because that helps you from creating like tons of channels for things that might only have a document or two. And that just gets, it's hard to follow, right? When you've got too many places to go. So as long as there's some kind of documentation or just a general understanding of, or you make it very clear, like reports, and then I could call it read only, or you make it a certain color, it's easier to understand what's going on. So anything that I add to this folder, any of the reports I want to put in here would be read only for those I've added in. So that's a good way to also do collaboration within teams. And I can add external people too. And then they would also have just read-only access to that without being able to edit it. So if you are doing a lot with external people and you want to be able to share something and not just an email that's more finalized, you can do that too. You can add them in as read-only or give them access to a particular document or two as read-only with their email address.
Okay. Good.
Any other questions?
I have one. So I work with a lot of partners who are not part of my organization. So they are not necessarily familiar with Teams, and I will share a document with them, via a link, through email and ask them to access the document to get the information they need or to collaborate or whatever. But a lot of people have trouble getting into the documents itself. I made a habit of going into the document to share that particular document with the email addresses. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I didn't know if I was doing anything wrong or if you have any tips and tricks to be able to give access to people outside your organization, or if they're not a member of the team.
Yeah, I love that you're doing that, and that you're fighting the good fight there. I think there's a caveat to this that I neglected to mention, and the person that you're sending that to needs to also have a Microsoft account. So if you're sending it to somebody and they're on G Suite, they have a Microsoft account in order to collaborate. The same is also true if they are on G Suite and they send you a link, you have to create a Google account or use like your personal Gmail address to access. So if they have a Microsoft license, then there shouldn't be any reason that they can't access it. Again, if they don't have a Microsoft license, they'll have to create a free Microsoft account. They don't have to pay for a license to use it, but they can't use like a Google credential to do it.
Will it prompt them to do that? Like, will it just say you don't have access, or will it prompt them to say you don't have a Microsoft account? Here's where you sign up so that you can access.
Yeah, like when you get that pop-up screen, it'll say, what credential do you want to use to log in? And then it'll say at the bottom, you can click here to create one. And they could do that.
Okay, that's
It's a
helpful.
once-off thing. Use your discretion as to whether they want to bother. But if you're going to be doing this ongoing, and you can just step them through creating that account, because it unlocks so much. They can chat with you. They can read your posts. They can work on these documents with you. It's, I think, good use of their time to just sign up for another credential and be able to do that, because it's not just the documents. You can also chat. I can chat with Yansing right here. And in fact, I don't even need to do this. If actually, Yansing, I'm going to have you do this with me if that's okay. So go to your teams, not the one that I'm in right now, not the like your own Aparo one. And then use my email address, not the one that you have for me, the one that I'm using here, which is this. I'll see if I can copy it for you. If you put this in and create a new chat and send it to Brittquate at bkdemosllc.onmicrosoft.com, you can chat with me from your without even leaving your organization.
Okay,
And
but they would just need everyone would need a Microsoft account to be able to view the chat and be able to interact on the chat, right?
Yeah, you have to invite the Microsoft account. So I can't send something to yanting at google.com.
Mm-hmm.
It won't allow that. It has to be a Microsoft account.
Okay.
And once you have that, you can chat with them, you can share documents with them, and you can do all of that without even leaving your organization, which is really convenient. So it really kind of brings down the barriers. And I know people will have security concerns about this, but no one's saying that you can't email documents outside of your organization. So you're just taking these conversations and making them more efficient. I mean, you're sending people documents over email, you're sending them content over email, and now you're just avoiding that, all of the latency that you get with email.
Right. And then also, if I add somebody to a team, what is the default as far as their notifications? Because what I don't want to have happen is every time I make a change to a document, or every time I'm in and out of a document, for the whole entire team to be notified.
Oh, no, they won't be. Only you have to follow the documents. So like what I was showing you here, if I have two documents.
But will everybody get the like if I put something on a chat, will everybody get it automatically, or just only if I let them know that there is a chat to have to pick up? Does that make sense?
Well, there's a difference between the post and the chat. So if you have, okay, two things here. So I have this document, the one that we were working on. I can come in here and favorite this. If I favorite it, then I'm going to get notified about changes to that document, but nobody else would, because I've like opted in to that. So the default is I don't know anything about any of these. It's all me having to go and look at the document or see when it was last modified, something like that. If I make it a favorite, only then I get notified about changes.
Okay.
Now, regarding the chat, I can create a group chat with multiple people, or I can add a post, which is a different way of communicating like I did here. And so if I do an @ mention to somebody individually and I put a document into that post, then those people will be notified about it. If I said, at Heather, this is ready for your review, you would get notified about it, but anyone else on my team wouldn't because I didn't call them out.
Okay.
If I put it in a chat, then everyone's going to get that message because everybody who's in that group chat has access to seeing everything in the group chat. That's one of the differences. Now you can mention somebody in a group chat, certainly if you've got a lot of people, but it does have more visibility than if you put it in a post.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so a post it's really like Facebook where you're saying, I have something to say, and then other people can add comments to what it is that you had to say. So it's like idea, comments, right? Where a chat's more like X, where you're just having kind of a conversation. It goes like this.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's kind of understanding how it is that you want to communicate the change. And then when you have a chat, so I'll see if I can do this from my side here. I've got I'm not feeling too creative right now. So I've started a chat with you, and I have a share tab. So over here, if I share documents with you or links, you're able to see those in that tab, but it is not the same as storage. So if you can see, I can create anything over here. And I can upload something, but it's really just going into my OneDrive and sending you the link. But this is a more direct way to be able to share something one-on-one with somebody either in or outside of your organization. So the same rules apply. If I just had something that I was working on in my OneDrive and I was like, hey, can you just take a look at this? Or I added some comments for you, then that gets shared with that person and it's not in a team. It's actually in the OneDrive, but they're able to access it through Teams, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. I have one more unrelated question too, which involves the integration of two different programs. But if I'm in Outlook and I have an email that I want to save into my files on Teams, then is there a direct way to get an email into Teams? Like right now, I'm downloading it onto my hard drive and then I'm uploading it into Teams. Is there any other way to do that more efficiently?
There should be a button right at the top that says send to Teams. You should have that when you are in an email.
Oh, on Outlook? I don't remember seeing that.
Are you using Outlook in a browser?
No, I'm doing the
You're in the client. As long as you're in the client, there should be a send to Teams button at the top. You're not seeing it?
Nope, I'm not seeing anything unless I'm just looking in the wrong place.
Are you using Outlook New or Outlook Classic?
The new.
All right, let's open up Outlook here.
I'm sorry, I know this is supposed to be about Teams, but it's kind of related since it's
It's related.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay, I see it.
So here I've got this email, and
I tried to share your email. The Britt Quake invited you to view a folder. I tried to email or share that to Teams, and it says I can't.
yeah, I can share it to Teams, or I can even, this is only available in Outlook New, not Classic, but I can even just start a chat with people about that email. This won't work because it's just like from a service account, but if I have one, I don't know if this one's from somebody outside my organization, so I'm not sure if it will work either. Yeah, if it's from somebody inside, you can do that.
Oh, it's only inside your organization?
Oh, the chat part is just that chat. If you click the chat at the top of the link.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I was thinking
Or the email, but the share for Teams, yeah, you can share it, and then when you click that, it's going to ask you what team. You can't share this message to Teams maybe because it's external.
I checked a bunch of emails and it won't let me share. I have that message too where it can't share to Teams.
Is it from an external person?
Yes, all the ones I tried. Let me see if here's this one. I'll get somebody from. There are only two people. There were a team of two, so there are only.
I'm wondering if it doesn't work when you have an external person, but that seems strange.
I think that's it because I tried to share or upload one from the other person who works for Social Venture Partners Charlotte, and that one said yes, but all the other ones, like from all of our partners or anybody else, it will not let me share to Teams. I don't know if there's a setting where I could change that, but
I don't know. That might be something that would have to be an admin level,
yeah.
and I don't know the answer to that. Now, you could create a Power Automate flow to do it. That would be pretty straightforward, based on some type of trigger, but you would have to run that yourself when you needed to. Yeah, I don't know if that can be turned on in the admin. I'll have to look into that.
Okay.
Any other questions? Anything Teams related at all? Or collaboration?
If we do have questions in the future, should we contact you or somebody from Amparo?
Either or. So Britt is it's an active volunteer for sure, but if you'd like to go ahead and contact me, we can make sure, if Britt has availability, and if she doesn't, we have a lot of volunteers with Teams expertise that can help you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, with that, let's go ahead and close out. We are a bit over our time. So Britt, thank you so much for your time and sharing this new skill. It's my first time experiencing it, so that was pretty cool. Pretty
nice.
easy as well.
Yeah. Sorry about all well, it's easy for you, not for me. Thanks for everyone's patience. I wonder if I can even see it now.
What makes me feel
No.
better that even the professionals have
Yeah.
issues sometimes, so I don't feel like it's just me. So thank you
Only
for
when we're doing a demo. If we're not doing a demo, everything is fine.
yeah.
Always. Isn't that always the case?
Always. Always. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and close out. And hopefully you all have a great rest of your week and going into a good long weekend. Thank you,
Thanks for
everyone.
having me. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.